Hello, and thank you for joining me here on Sew Stitch Hex. Today, I'm going to be doing a book review on Wicca, a guide for the solitary practitioner. And surprisingly enough, I actually got this copy that I have here as a donation to our library when I was in high school. Just a random book. I also got his herbal guide. From my library. There were books that they either wouldn't take anymore or they didn't have. It does have highlights in it, which doesn't bother me. Because, I love books that are written in. Someone else found that part extremely important. I personally didn't read very much of the physical text because I have an Audible subscription. You'll find I adore Amazon. I love it. I'm not sponsored, but that'd be kind of cool. Might entice me to make more videos faster. But I use Amazon for Amazon Prime. I love the video option. You can learn so many cool new things watching some of their more documentary-like videos. I use Audible. And so if I'm cleaning or working or doing something where I'm not being bothered and there's nothing to there's no radio or anything, I can just pull out my phone and just play an audiobook. I recently just finished Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm working on A Crown of Coral and Pearl. I'm reading those right now, or listening to those right now, and I finished this one recently. I am going to read Buckland's Big Book of Witchcraft, the big blue one, soon. I have a physical copy of it as well. I digress. So I listened to the audiobook, which I got. This is Wicca, a guide for the solitary practitioner by Scott Cunningham. And even if you're not Wiccan, I still do believe or agree with the larger witch community that this is one of the fundamental books that you should probably read. It is a very simple starter book, but I really enjoyed this. I like their focus on runes. That was really cute. The book itself has cute little sign guides, what the signs mean. I like this one because it goes over some of the basic herbs and the gods. So here you have herbs for the goddesses, then you have herbs for the gods, and it breaks it all down. So for goddesses, going to Aphrodite, and it's in alphabetical order. I love that. Aphrodite, olive, cinnamon, daisy, cypress, kinsey, how do you say that? Orris or iris, apple, and myrtle. And then you have of offerings to the goddess, all watery and earthy flowers and seeds such as camellia lily, water lily, willow stalks. Those flowers used in full moon rituals, white or purple blossoms such as hyacinth, magnolia, heather, and lilac, sweet-scented herbs and flowers, those dedicated to Venus or to the moon, rue, vervain, and olive, or others which seem suitable. It has cute things like that. It has herbs for the Sabbaths. It breaks down in some of the chapters the tools, each tool. I like that. And it goes through with something that I wasn't specifically explained, I guess, in practice, with being that the spiritual broom, which I do have my own besom, that's huge, and then I have two mini ones. One is cinnamon, and the other one's just straw. Those are on my altar. They're super tiny. From the fall decorations. I love when they put the cinnamon besoms on sale. I actually have a cinnamon besom above my door, because it's a decorative item, and it's really cute, and it's cinnamon, since I love cinnamon. Cinnamon is for friendship. If you've watched Mistress of the Spices, one of my favorite movies. I used to watch it when I was little all the time, and I recently just found it again because I forgot the name of the movie. And I found it, and they have it on YouTube for free. It works better on mobile device than it does on a computer or streamed to your TV. It works a lot better on your phone. Just saying. But it's really cute. I adore it. It's a great movie. Anyway, spice. Cinnamon. Love it. Broom. I have my own broom that I've made, and it's kind of messy. You'd have to get a broom to sweep up after that broom because it kind of falls apart a little bit. I didn't do the best job, but I tried. It was my first one. And the stick of the broom is taller than me. Well, when you use a broom in your craft, it's more so to cleanse the astral plane, the energetic plane, not the physical plane. So it doesn't even really need to touch the ground when you use it. I didn't know that. Now I do. Now I do. Another thing I really like the covers is how, like, not putting your magic, not putting your luck, not putting any, like, immaterial thing into a material thing. Like, when you make a talisman, that's cool. You know, it's like, you would use that for, like, luck for a god or something like that. Sorry, again, with the yawning. Or with an amulet to, ward off. But you wouldn't put all of your magic into that item. Like, he says he may wear an ankh, or he may wear something from Maui if he is making things, but he's not going to explicitly put his power into an amulet. Like, I have a talisman here. I have this necklace I wear all the time. This is my grandmother's. And then this was a gift for my high priestess. It's the fairy star. And I really like that my grandmother had this because I like hummingbirds. But also I found out when I was buying some oils, hummingbird oil used in like hoodoo is a oil for like a love witch like myself. Because you are using the hummingbird oil, it's like a nectar. It's drawing the hummingbird to you. You are the nectar. You are the sweetness. You are drawing them into you. It's like a come to me kind of thing. And I thought that was really cute. And so, hummingbird, I love it. Love it even more than I did before. But he's like, don't put your magic into an object because you are the magic. You don't need something, which I think brings to mind the idea of a conversation I had the other day. How do you break a spiritual man? How do you break a religious man? This was an interesting conversation I had. It was the idea that to break a religious man, you take away his religion. How does he connect to God? He connects through his dogma. He connects through the tools, his books, his church. Take him away from those things and you break him. And he has to reestablish his relationship with his God. And by reestablishing that relationship, he becomes a spiritual man. How do you break a spiritual man? A spiritual man loses his connection to the divine. He is no longer innately connected to spirit. And then he becomes the religious man. And he has to use books. He has to use a place of worship. He can't just take it from within because he loses that part of himself and he doesn't trust in his own instinct. The idea is that there's a constant cycle between the religious man and the spiritual man going in a circle. And it was just a concept I had. And the idea kind of brought up with that was, don't put your magic into an object, because if that object is stolen, then your magic is stolen. Don't put your luck into an object, because if your luck is stolen, well, you're going to have a really bad time. And someone like me who already has terrible luck doesn't want an object that is just purely their luck. It's like, well, there went that last little shred of good luck I had going on. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm not Wiccan, and I don't practice all of the things that he says, but it's a very good starter. It's a very good book to describe where to begin. Use the tools if you want them. It describes each of the tools. I like how it talks about, let's see, where is it? The part that magic is not supernatural. Magic is natural because it comes from within. It comes from our connection with the divine. It comes from ourselves. We are the magic. You just have to unleash that magic. And it gives some very good basic energy exercises and meditation exercises, and then further, examples of where to go. I really like that. It gives a couple really cute little rituals, and it gives a suggested altar layout where it has like everything. And yes, it's not a lot of stuff, but that's a lot of stuff. I mean, my altar has a lot of stuff. It's got more than this, but it's because I have a lot of rocks. I have a lot of rocks and shiny things for all the fae. I have a shelf that's just for my ancestors and the Loa, specifically just Papa Legba. That's it. But it has all of my stuff for them. So it has the doll and Poppet for my sister. It has my Poppet. It has a picture of my Nana and myself together. It has some dried flowers that are a gift. Because I value the flowers, so I'm like, here they are. It has my basic tools, like my Athame. My bowline went MIA after I last used it. I used my bowline for some healing blood magic, and then it went like the day after, gone. Can't find it. Not at all. Nowhere. Not seen. And I'm like, I used you for one blood magic thing, and now where did you go? I'll find it. I know. It's just like inconvenient. It's probably going to come back when I need it again and then disappear again. Kind of like how a whole set of bones and my demon possessed tarot disappeared at the same time. Like, what happened? Did the demons run off with the bones? Where did it go? I don't know. So, there's that. Alright, here is this lovely book. And then my edition, for those interested, is trying to find which edition. I believe mine is the 1998 publication. Yeah. Yes, 21st printing, first edition. First edition was 1988. My edition is the 21st, which is 1998. This book is dedicated to the forces that watch over and guide us, however we may envision or name them being capitalized. I'll find a random page and read you a little something. Ooh, this was a good part. The hand can... Oh, okay, I'll start up here. Many spells involve pointing with the Jupiter and Saturn fingers, usually at an object to be charged or imbued with magical energy. The power is visualized as traveling straight out through the fingers and into the object. Other ritual gestures used in Wiccan rites include the cutting of pentagrams at the four quarters by drawing them in the air and the magical knife, wand, or index finger. This is done to alternatively banish or invoke elemental powers. It is, of course, performed with visualization. I also found this one a little bit difficult because depending on which corner of the pentacle you're pointing, like you're invoking or banishing a different one. And one tradition, the invocation is the same as the banishment for another element. So at the same time you're welcoming one, you're banishing the other. And so there's an alternate one, but it's not the traditional one. So it's like, which one are you going with? But yeah, just a little side note. The hand can be seen as a cauldron, since it can cup and contain water. An athame, since it is used to direct magical energy. And a wand, since it can also invoke. Gestures are magical tools as potent as any other. Ones we can always take with us, to be used when needed. I find that phrasing a little off because there's a comma, because ones we can always take with us is in its own little section, but I love that anyway, because it's like, these are your tools. You always have them with you, unless, you know, you've suffered some sort of incident or you were born without them. I mean, there's that, but like, you have other ways of using tools. You have other tools. But I like his description. Like, this is your cauldron. It's your athame. It's your wand. Swish and flick. You know? I find it to be really cute. I find it really great. Because we haven't used gestures. He has one mention of a ritual that uses only gestures. That he designed. That's only gestures. There is no speaking. There is no sound. You just know what you gotta do. And you do it with gestures. And it's like, that's awesome. I love that. It reminds me, our priest wanted to do for Yule a ritual with no sound. He wanted us to do one with no talking. And I like the concept, but we're a talkative bunch. We're a little rowdy. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work out. I don't think we didn't do anything for that, towards that ritual design. But, I mean, I think it'll be a little difficult. Although I'm really excited for the concept. I'd love to participate, but, you know, also sounds kind of hard with our group. All right. thank you guys for joining me here on So Sid Checks with a Bibliofancy segment. Alrighty, I will see you next time.